All right, over then to Roger Silverman.
Okay, thanks, Correct. I wasn't going to speak, but just one or two things just to chip into the discussion, which is already a very positive and very lively discussion. I think, obviously, the first thing we have to say is it's only a few weeks that we were still at a stage where we were saying, it's time they built something, it's time something went forward, it's time we built this party. Things are moving very, very fast. We've got to a situation now where we should really celebrate that we have a party to talk about. Yes, all these criticisms are absolutely justified. I completely agree with all of them. But look what a huge stride forward we're taking, that we now have a party about which to complain the rules of and the structure of, because before there was just a completely empty vacuum, which was just crying out loud to be filled by something, by anything. But having said that, I mean, there are things, very, very strong points that we just say. One of the reasons I think why there's this ferment of debate and criticism and ideas coming up. I think part of that is why we have, with the structure of the party as it's presented now, it seems to be very, very much dominated at the top by fear of what the working class, of what the workers in the party could make of it, of how it could surpass them, outpace them, overwhelm them, and go forward beyond the strictures. For instance, this idea of the independent MPs being a kind of interim leadership, I mean, that is crucially important. Who appointed them? Well, you could say, okay, Jeremy and Zara, we can take it that they would be appointed overwhelmingly by the huge mass, probably by every member of the new party. But these MPs who simply represented, really, I have to say it smacks of a communal tendency, of a communal group of Muslims who are upset by the Gaza war, obviously quite rightly, and we agree with them and salute them that they stood out on that. But on other issues, they have no record of having anything to do with the working class or anything to do with socialist ideas, still less so. In fact, I understand, I haven't heard this contradicted, but I've heard several times that one of the MPs was in favour of bringing troops in to break the Birmingham bin strike. Well, we don't want somebody like that anywhere near a new party, a party of the working class. Secondly, that it is, as comrades have said, it has to be a party of the working class, proudly saying so. And that means, and by the way, all this, the nonsense that people say, oh yeah, but what about the unemployed, and what about pensioners, what about disabled people, and so on. Look, disabled people are disabled workers. Pensioners are retired workers. The youth are future workers. I mean, this is the unemployed workers are unemployed workers. They're all part of the working class. That's why it's called the working class. We're not saying only people in jobs. The working class is the overwhelming mass of society. And as some comrades have said already today, that includes now lawyers, doctors, barristers, university lecturers, all of whom have been involved in massive strikes in the recent period. Then there's the question of sortition. Now, sortition, I mean, is absolutely explicitly undemocratic. It's saying that democracy isn't a good idea because the kind of people who get elected are the ones who really have more confidence, have more experience, are better speakers, who've got clearer ideas, and so on. Well, what's wrong with that? It would have been, they say, oh, well, it was so difficult to organise. It's not difficult at all. When you've got 800,000 people in a week signing up to join, to express an interest in the formation of a new party, and that makes it bigger, potentially a bigger party than the membership of all the other parties put together, and then by quite a long distance. Then what that means is it's not difficult at all to organise a party. You can do it in a couple of weeks. All you need to do is say you somehow you disseminate the names and the contact details of the people who signed up, and you say in each area, get together and organise yourselves, form branches, elect delegates, and there we are. And then send them to a national conference, and not sort of four half-day national conferences with a completely different composition of being only selected by lottery and at random anyway. You could say, look, delegates to come to a conference to hammer out the name, the leadership, the structure, the constitution, the policies, the manifesto, everything. It could have been done in a matter of weeks. So I think we have to say let's let's nevertheless, despite of all of this, we have to take the dynamics of the party out of the leadership, which is afraid to let it really develop itself, and we have to say, make of this party what it so nearly has become already, to turn it into a really democratic forum and a democratic sort of parliament of the masses, which can really fight for a new society. And I think that's the message that we have to give out, that this is an opportunity which is too precious to allow to slip from our fingers.
Oh, thank you, Roger. Thank you. I think you're getting lots of claps for that.